Hello everybody, it's Chris here, Ayers here again. I've made an install video. I've done it a little different than my normal videos today. In this install video, it's going to be kind of a reverse engineer type video because of the complexity of actually taking the parts apart. I think that you would understand how they come apart by me showing you how they go back on together. So what we are starting off with, first and foremost, is our already disassembled shift knob here. And we have everything on this shift knob, including my light because it is dark out here. Everything we are going to be replacing, and this is also could be very helpful to a lot of you that are actually doing an actual shifter on here. As you can see, you're going to have to basically separate the spring, and then you're going to have to separate this ball stud side and pull it out so you can get the ball out and put the new ball in. And basically then you'll have your adjustment points, which will be here and further out depending on what degree you guys want to go with as far as shifting. Again, I really apologize about the light situation. We'll have it better in the car when we're getting it back installed. What I'm going to be replacing, however, today are these bushings, which are much like inside of the transmission, are rubber. So basically what we're going to do to get these out is go ahead and take a trim tool or a flathead screwdriver. Sorry, it's cold out here in the garage, guys. Take it from the top here and push the grommet out. And then you just have the rubber grommet to get out of the hole like that. We're going to go around and do that to each individual one of these by taking the metal portion out first, as so, and then taking the rubber and basically just pulling it right out of the hole. All right, so now you can see through the bottom here that all of the rubber and metal has been removed. Now we can go ahead and start assembling the new billet aluminum pieces. And we're simply just going to do those of the same size here. Simply going to do that by putting one into the bottom and one into the top here and seating that just like that. That takes the rubber out of it, which thus takes the play out of the whole shifter itself. Now, as you can see in the vehicle, I went ahead and decided to leave all of these main connections to the climate control connected and just move this whole centerpiece out of the way. The only connections that I did disconnect was for the power steering, the heated steering, and the traction control. Other than that, I left everything else disconnected and just slid this out of the way to avoid confusion on wire connections in the future when putting it back together. Right, now that we got my little CNC shop's solid billet bushings into the shifter, we're going to go ahead and start reassembling some of the trim, which I'm sure most of you are the most interested in this. I will tell you that this is not the easiest job that I've done on this car. This actually ranks up in one of the higher difficulties. But just make sure when you're working with trim that you use plastic tools. You try to stay away from edges, chipping them, edging them. Obviously this material in this car isn't the best made material. It will chip, it will scratch. Just be careful of that. We're going to start putting it together piece by piece, and I'll show you how that goes. We're going to want to make sure we plug in the heated steering wheel and the traction control, which you can see notated by the yellow plug and the black one directly underneath it. Make sure those are secured. They should snap in when you put them in. And then we're going to flip this over and get the shifter boot and everything back over it. So now you can see we pulled the stud back up through. You are going to want to make sure that your reverse works by putting the knob back on before you secure it. One more thing not to forget is the light that goes on the airbag sensor that will be up here, which we'll be installing right after we get this piece set into place with the T20 Torx bit. One here and one here. Like I did say before, you're going to want to go ahead and run through the gears, obviously, before you do anything. So first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and then reverse collar, reverse. And I know that's reverse because you don't go down from there. So now before we torque it in, we're going to go ahead and just push it forward. You want to make sure it's forward on all corners here. Up, centered, and then push from the forward of the shifter base and you should notice that your torque soles will line up on both sides. We left the little plug out that lights up this little airbag guy here that just snaps right into place. Make sure you connect it at the connector right there, and then you're just going to want to take this and snap it right into place. You'll notice where the holes line up on the two sides, and then at the very ends, those two holes are very specific and are shown right here. And there's also one similar right on this end. All right, finally, once we have that all secured, guys, we're going to take this very end bezel here, and we're just going to go around and pop it into place, one piece by one piece, as it works itself all the way up. And to give a huge thanks to Chris at yourlittlecncshop.com for helping us out with these parts today. I did order them. They fit like a glove. All right, guys, with one more thing, without having to take that back apart, which I really don't want to. On the gearbox, there are similar connections to as under the hood. So if you watch the video on doing the under the hood bushings, you will see how those snap lock type secures are on there. It's the same type of secures on the shifter bushing. And also just use a pry tool, a flathead screwdriver, or trim tool to be able to pull the caps off the ball studs on the shifter. I hope you guys did enjoy some of the video today. I know that the lighting wasn't exactly perfect. I kind of started the project when it was, and then it got dark and cold, and we've all been there before, I'm sure. So other than that, the difficulty on this job is not that it's difficult, it's there's not a lot of room to work on. And especially working with trim pieces, especially in Michigan where it's cold right now, it's the first thing to break. Luckily, I broke no tabs. Everything fit right back together and looks good. Nothing scratched, but it is a real possibility. If you guys have any questions, comments, definitely leave some likes if you like the video, and make sure you subscribe for the next modification. Have a good day, guys.